In 1966, Hollywood was shocked. Bobby Fuller, a famous musician, was found dead in his car. People knew him for his music, but he also had a tough side that caused trouble. This story isn't just about him. Many stars in Hollywood have been known not just for their acting or singing, but for being really difficult to work with. From Thelma Todd, who was known for her quick temper, to Mickey Rooney, who often clashed with others, we'll learn about some of the biggest jerks in Hollywood history. Bobby Fuller, a rock and roll mystery. He was a rising star in the mid-1960s, known for his energetic performances and his major hit, I Fought the Law. Born on October 22, 1942, in Baytown, Texas, Fuller was passionate about music from a young age, influenced by the likes of Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly. By the time he was a teenager, he was already leading his own band, the Bobby Fuller Four, and was on his way to becoming a national sensation. Despite his success and growing fame, Bobby Fuller's career was marred by controversies and rumors of difficult behavior. Behind the scenes, Fuller was often described by his bandmates and colleagues as demanding and temperamental. He had a specific vision for his music and was not shy about pushing for what he wanted, sometimes to the detriment of his relationships with others in the industry. Fuller's insistence on control extended to all aspects of his band's performances and recordings. He was known to be a perfectionist in the studio, often requiring numerous takes to get the sound exactly as he envisioned it. This perfectionism led to tensions with band members, who found his standards exhausting and his attitude increasingly difficult to tolerate. Aside from his conflicts within the band, Fuller's interactions with music industry executives were also strained. He was determined to make his mark and was unwilling to compromise on his artistic integrity. This rigidity sometimes resulted in heated exchanges and damaged professional relationships. Rumors swirled around Hollywood about Fuller's confrontations with producers and record label executives, which added to his reputation as a difficult artist to work with. Tragically, Bobby Fuller's life and career were cut short when he was found dead in his car on July 18, 1966, in Los Angeles. The circumstances surrounding his death were mysterious and controversial. He was found with multiple bruises and gasoline poured over his body, leading to widespread speculation about foul play. However, the official cause of death was ruled as accidental asphyxiation, leaving many questions unanswered and fueling conspiracy theories. George Reeves, Superman's struggle behind the scenes. Most famously known for his iconic role as Superman in the 1950s television series, George Reeves was a beloved figure on screen, embodying the virtues of the quintessential superhero. However, behind the scenes, Reeves' relationship with his colleagues and his behavior on set were often far from heroic, marked by moments of arrogance and difficult interactions that strained professional relationships. Born in 1914 in Woolstock, Iowa, Reeves rose to fame quickly after World War II. His portrayal of Superman made him a household name, but the typecasting that followed became a source of frustration for him. As his career options narrowed, Reeves' dissatisfaction grew, which he often took out on those around him. Colleagues from the set of the Superman series reported that Reeves could be imperious and dismissive, particularly towards the writers and directors. He was known to openly criticize script changes and direction decisions, insisting that his understanding of the Superman character was superior due to his long tenure in the role. This led to numerous conflicts with producers who found him increasingly difficult to work with. One notable incident involved a young director who suggested a minor change to Superman's mannerisms, which Reeves did not take well. According to crew members who witnessed the exchange, Reeves' response was disproportionately harsh. He belittled the director in front of the entire cast and crew, questioning his credentials and his understanding of the character. This outburst was not an isolated incident. Similar stories of Reeves' arrogance and lack of patience were common, contributing to a tense atmosphere on set. Additionally, Reeves' relationships with some of his co-stars were also fraught with tension. He was often cold and aloof to new actors joining the cast, expecting them to immediately perform to his standards without the usual period of adjustment. His lack of support and mentorship for his colleagues was noted by many who worked with him, contrasting sharply with the supportive and wholesome image he portrayed as Superman. His behavior extended beyond the set. At industry events, Reeves was known to be charming and engaging when in the public eye, but he could quickly turn dismissive and rude once away from the cameras. Several industry insiders recalled occasions where Reeves' demeanor changed drastically once he believed he was out of the public view, treating staff and lesser-known actors with disdain. Johnny Stompanato, Hollywood's infamous bully. A bodyguard and enforcer for gangster Mickey Cohen, Johnny Stompanato was also known for his tumultuous relationship with film star Lana Turner. His life was marked by aggression and intimidation, not just in his underworld dealings, but also in his personal relationships, particularly with Turner and others in the Hollywood elite. Stompanato was born in 1925 in Woodstock, Illinois, and moved to Los Angeles after serving in the Marines. He quickly became involved in the criminal underworld, but it was his relationship with Lana Turner that thrust him into the Hollywood spotlight. This relationship, however, was anything but glamorous and often showcased Stompanato's true nature as a manipulative and abusive figure. Colleagues and friends of Turner recounted multiple instances where Stompanato's presence brought tension and fear. At Hollywood parties and gatherings, he was known to flaunt his connection to organized crime as a means of asserting power, often making others uncomfortable or outright scared. His behavior wasn't limited to verbal threats. There were several reported instances of physical altercations, where Stompanato would assert his dominance through violence or the threat of it. One particularly public incident occurred at the 1958 Academy Awards, where Stompanato's jealousy and controlling behavior were on full display. He forbade Turner from attending the ceremony alone, fearing she would leave him for someone more influential in the industry. This event culminated in a heated argument witnessed by several of Turner's co-stars, which not only embarrassed Turner, but also highlighted Stompanato's volatile temperament. His controlling nature extended to Turner's professional life as well. He was known to show up unannounced on film sets, interrupting her work and causing scenes. His presence was so disruptive that during the filming of Another Time, Another Place alongside Sean Connery, Stompanato stormed onto the set in a jealous rage, mistakenly believing Turner and Connery were having an affair. Connery, a former bodybuilder, had to physically remove him from the set, further humiliating Stompanato and straining his relationship with Turner. The culmination of Stompanato's aggressive and domineering behavior was his death at the hands of Turner's daughter, Cheryl Crane, who stabbed him in self-defense during a violent confrontation at Turner's home in 1958. This incident was widely publicized, casting a dark shadow over Turner's career and serving as a tragic reminder of Stompanato's dangerous influence. Bob Crane, behind the charming facade. Best known for his starring role as Colonel Hogan in the popular television series Hogan's Heroes, Bob Crane was once one of America's favorite television stars. However, beneath his charming on-screen persona lay a complex and often troubling personal life, marked by scandalous behavior that eventually overshadowed his professional achievements. Born in 1928 in Waterbury, Connecticut, Crane's career began in radio before he made the transition to television, where he quickly gained fame. His role in Hogan's Heroes made him a household name, but as his celebrity status grew, so did his indulgences in the more salacious side of Hollywood life. Crane was notorious for his compulsive sexual behavior, which included numerous affairs and an obsession with documenting these encounters with photography and video, a hobby that he often shared with close friends in the industry. This behavior was well known within the industry and often led to uncomfortable situations for his co-stars and crew members, who found themselves unwilling participants in his explicit conversations and displays. His co-star Richard Dawson recounted several instances where Crane's behavior was particularly problematic on set. Crane would often boast about his sexual exploits, showing off photographs and even inviting cast members to participate in his activities. This behavior created a palpable tension on set, as many of his colleagues were deeply uncomfortable with his oversharing and felt pressured by his presence. Moreover, Crane's personal life began to interfere with his professional relationships. His marriage to his second wife, Patricia, ended in part due to his infidelities and obsession with sex, which he often did not bother to hide from his friends and colleagues. His behavior led to isolation in the industry, as few wanted to be associated with his increasingly notorious reputation. The dark side of Crane's life culminated tragically when he was found murdered in his apartment in Scottsdale, Arizona. in 1978. The murder was believed to be connected to his personal life, with suspicion falling on individuals involved in his more clandestine activities. The case was never solved, but it left a lasting impression of a life that had spiraled out of control. Peter Ivers, tensions behind the innovative front. A key figure in the avant-garde music scene of the 1970s and early host of the influential New Wave theater, Peter Ivers was celebrated for his creative genius and eclectic musical talents. However, Ivers was also known for a particularly abrasive side that often clashed with colleagues and friends, leaving a trail of strained relationships in the creative community. Born in 1946 in Boston, Massachusetts, Ivers was a Harvard-educated musician whose work spanned various genres, from blues harmonica to composing songs for films like Eraserhead. Despite his intellectual and artistic prowess, Ivers's interpersonal interactions were frequently marked by episodes of intense confrontation and difficult behavior. In the tightly knit circles of the Los Angeles music and art scene, Ivers was notorious for his uncompromising artistic vision. His confrontational style was evident in his handling of creative differences, where he often insisted on his ideas without considering others' inputs. This stubbornness led to numerous fallouts with collaborators, who found him both inspiring and infuriating in equal measure. One notable incident involved a heated disagreement during a recording session where Ivers vehemently disagreed with a producer over the direction of a music track. Witnesses recalled that the argument escalated to the point where Ivers threw his harmonica across the room and stormed out, halting production for days. Such outbursts were not uncommon, and painted a picture of a man deeply passionate about his art, but difficult to work with. Furthermore, his role as the host of New Wave Theater showcased another dimension of his complex personality. Behind the scenes, Ivers was described as demanding and often overly critical of the performances, pushing artists to their limits. While this often resulted in compelling television, it also created a tense atmosphere backstage. His critical nature extended off-camera, where he was known to be dismissive of genres and artists that did not meet his artistic standards, alienating peers who felt belittled by his harsh critiques. Despite his challenging personality, Ivers's tragic death in 1983 left a void in the artistic community. He was found murdered in his Los Angeles apartment, a crime that remains unsolved but speculated to be possibly linked to his contentious interpersonal relationships. His death underscored the complex legacy of a man who was as much a provocateur as he was a pioneer in the music industry. Gene Spangler, Hollywood's elusive enigma. An aspiring actress and dancer, Gene Spangler became a prominent figure not only for her potential in Hollywood, but also for her mysterious disappearance in 1949. Her case, which remains unsolved, captured public attention and spawned numerous theories. Behind her glamorous aspirations, Spangler was known among colleagues for her often unpredictable and difficult behavior, which added layers of complexity to her relationships within the entertainment industry. Born in 1923 in Seattle, Washington, Spangler moved to Los Angeles to pursue her dreams in the film industry. She managed to secure minor roles in several films, showing promise as an upcoming actress. However, her career trajectory was marred by her reputation for being unreliable and difficult to work with on set. Gene often arrived late, unprepared, or in a state that suggested she had been out the previous night, which frustrated directors and fellow actors. Spangler's personal life was equally tumultuous and often spilled over into her professional interactions. She was known for her vibrant social life and for mingling with a crowd that included dubious characters, which led to rumors and gossip that further tainted her reputation. Her charm could quickly turn into manipulation, as she sometimes used her relationships to advance her career or to get out of professional commitments. One particular incident on the set of a movie illustrated her complex relations with coworkers. After a disagreement with a director over her lines, Spangler reportedly used her charm to persuade the producer to side with her, effectively bypassing the director's authority. This action created a rift among the crew, with some admiring her assertiveness, while others saw it as a blatant disregard for professionalism. Her disappearance in October 1949 added a tragic mystery to her already complicated life. After leaving her home with a note saying she was meeting with her ex-husband and then going to work on a film set, she was never seen again. The cryptic circumstances of her disappearance, her purse found in Griffith Park with straps broken and no further clues, left many to speculate about connections with unsavory characters she might have crossed. The investigation into her disappearance also revealed the strain in several professional relationships. Co-workers described her as both a dazzling presence and a troublesome diva, which reflected the dual aspects of her personality. Her story is often cited in Hollywood as a cautionary tale about the perils of navigating fame with a controversial personal life. Bruce Lee, the Dragon's Temper. A legendary figure in martial arts and cinema, known for his physical prowess and philosophical approach to martial arts, Bruce Lee also had moments that showed a different side of his character. Renowned for his roles in films like Enter the Dragon and The Way of the Dragon, Lee was instrumental in popularizing martial arts worldwide. However, beneath his disciplined exterior, he occasionally exhibited a fiery temper which impacted his relationships within the film industry. Born in 1940 in San Francisco and raised in Hong Kong, Lee returned to the United States for college and to establish a career in martial arts instruction. His transition into Hollywood was marked by his unique blend of charisma and intensity, traits that made him a star, but sometimes also led to friction with colleagues and business partners. Lee was known for his perfectionism on set, demanding not just of himself, but of everyone around him. This high standard often led to tensions, especially with producers and directors who were unaccustomed to his meticulous attention to detail. During the filming of The Green Hornet, Lee's insistence on authenticity in martial arts sequences often put him at odds with the show's directors, who were more focused on sticking to tight production schedules than on the accuracy of martial arts techniques. Another incident that highlighted Lee's temper occurred during a promotional event for one of his films. When a reporter questioned the authenticity of some of his fight scenes, Lee became visibly upset and defensively articulated the depth of his martial arts knowledge and the effort put into choreographing each scene. This confrontation was uncomfortable for those present and demonstrated how quickly Lee could be provoked when his professional integrity was challenged. Lee's relationships with other martial artists sometimes also veered into contentious territory. He was competitive and occasionally dismissive of other martial arts styles, which led to challenges and rivalries. One such rivalry was with Wong Jack Man, a fellow martial artist. Their private bout, which stemmed from Lee's open criticism of traditional martial arts schools, became legendary for its intensity and the secrecy surrounding its outcome. This event was emblematic of Lee's combative nature when confronted with opposing views. Despite these moments, Lee's contributions to martial arts and cinema are undeniable. His philosophy of Jeet Kune Do emphasized adaptability and efficiency over rigid adherence to tradition, a reflection of his innovative spirit. His on-set conflicts, though less celebrated, are a testament to his passion and unyielding pursuit of excellence, characteristics that both propelled his career and created barriers. Rebecca Schaefer, a rising star shadowed by discontent. A promising young actress known for her role in the television series My Sister Sam, Rebecca Schaefer faced the darker side of Hollywood before her tragic murder by an obsessed fan in 1989. While Schaefer is remembered for her vibrant personality and tragic end, there were moments in her brief career that revealed the pressures and challenges she faced, which sometimes led to difficult interactions with colleagues. Born in 1967 in Oregon, Schaefer's ascent in Hollywood was swift, propelled by her charm and talent. However, as her career progressed, the pressures of fame began to take a toll. Despite her public persona of an ever-smiling, upbeat young actress, behind the scenes, Schaefer sometimes struggled with the demands placed on her by the industry. During the filming of My Sister Sam, insiders noted that Schaefer occasionally displayed signs of frustration and impatience, particularly with the slower aspects of production such as long waits between scenes and numerous takes. These moments of discontent were out of character for the young actress, who was known for her professionalism, but they highlighted the strain she felt under the constant scrutiny and pace of television production. One notable incident occurred during a guest appearance on another show, where Schaefer expressed dissatisfaction with the way her character was written, feeling it was a step back in her career trajectory. Her objections led to a tense discussion with the episode's director, where Schaefer insisted on script changes to better align with her evolving career goals. While the situation was resolved amicably, It left some crew members surprised at her assertiveness, which contrasted with her usual agreeable nature. Schaefer's challenges extended to her interactions with the press. At a media event, she once remarked candidly about the typecasting she experienced, showing a side of her that was more critical of the industry. This openness about her frustrations with Hollywood, though honest, was met with mixed reactions, with some praising her candor and others viewing her as difficult. Despite these incidents, Schaefer remained a beloved figure among her peers, known for her kindness and dedication. Her tragic death at the age of 21 shocked the world and underscored the vulnerabilities of young actors navigating the complexities of fame. Schaefer's story is a poignant reminder of the pressures faced by rising stars and the need for support and understanding in the high-stakes environment of Hollywood.